Hello, friend. Spirit has been telling you to slow down. You cannot do things the way you used to do it. And your ego struggles with that because the programs that we're given since birth are about identity and creating our identity so that it's rock solid. But this can cause rigidity and a lack of flexibility when it comes to change. As you've left this last eclipse season, it's demanding a lot of change from you. I understand that can be terrifying, because you're going to have to dig deep into the trust. You're going to have to dig deep into the faith, the belief you have in yourself. Spirit is saying, it's not out there. It's not out there, my friend. Stop looking for God in all the external, outside, wrong places. God is in you. You are God playing avatar. So, in order to move forward, you may be asked to do things in a way you've never done them before. And this can be a fun little game if you do it from a place of trust, or you even do it from a place of curiosity. When we go back into the inner child, or the way we approach life as a child, we can bring a playfulness, a levity into how we approach things. Hanuman, you said that everything felt heavy and serious, and you're right, things have gotten way too serious. Now, at the same time, I'm always going to show up in my life as I do here, because this is real, this is my life. There's nothing filtered or fake about what I'm producing here, what I'm sharing, what I'm showing up as. There are times we feel serious and we feel heavy, and certainly September, for me personally, was one of those times. But I also recognize that we need to keep a harmony. We need to keep a balance to things. So, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we have an honest look and appraisal at the ways that we're consuming fear and negativity. And maybe that's looking at the friend we share our lunch break with in work, who absolutely sucks the life out of us, and we decide to make a different choice around that. Maybe we go somewhere else. Maybe we sit with other people. Maybe we stop answering the phone when that toxic person calls, that family member that has nothing but complaining or doom and gloom stories. Maybe we have an honest look at our diet and how we're betraying ourselves every time we slump back into comfortable, casual behaviors and impulses that we know never have served us and never will. But the message about slowing down is not just a trite message. There's something very powerful about coming back to presence, intentionality. Like I'm literally, and I used to be someone who was very fast, up until the last few years, very fast, move fast, light as a feather. My nickname was the fairy in my family growing up because I would flit around, light-footed. Now I'm very intentional. I'm taking every step with this added presence of intention. And I'm tuning in with every step. I'm not letting the outside hustle culture try to coax me into a rhythm that's unnatural, inorganic, and doesn't match me. Especially now I'm in my mid-40s. I am honouring this phase of my life by being slow, smooth, intentional, present. There's this saying, and please correct me in the comments exactly how this goes, but I love it. I only heard it like in the last year. It is, what was it? Slow is smooth, so smooth is fast. I love that. That's actually where I'm at in my life right now. I'm at a point where I want every step I take. I got this sleep stuff. I just love the smell of it. I love the lavender. Drift Away pillow spray. Not sponsored, by the way, of course. Every step I take is not thoughtful, that's probably the wrong word, but there's a presence in it. And by slowing down, I notice that I'm making better choices. I'm making more spiritually in tune choices. Because when we're really, really busy and we are trying to boss up and be in that hustle culture that is the 3D, that is an old program, by the way, it's designed to pull you away from your natural organic rhythm. We all have a rhythm to our being, and you'll see this, like some people are faster than others, some people and by the way, if you're someone who's naturally fast and your spirit is saying be that, well then be that. I'm not saying everybody has to conform to the one rhythm, because that would be crazy, but I do believe our life goes into certain acts, certain points of time. And I trust that our 40s or 50s is a time where we have to shift gears. And saw the passing there of Robert Redford, that esteemed actor. Always felt there was a reverence with Robert Redford. There's something deep about him. And I saw a clip recently where he was speaking about getting older and his sadness, because he was always someone who was so athletic. And obviously being a Hollywood actor, they're really encouraged to invest in their appearance and their bodies and all that kind of stuff. But you can tell by him, if you look at his films from his younger days, he was definitely into sports and athleticism. And he said that he found it sad. He really struggled with the sadness of having to accept that it wouldn't be safe for him to maintain that lifestyle as an older man. I believe that any way you have gotten out of balance, Maybe you're looking at news items that you find give you trepidation about the world's future. Things like that, where you need to address, okay, this is slipped beyond my control. Like, I'm investing or getting pulled into dramas that are of no benefit to me in the world. This is a gentle reminder to look at yourself, to look at your habits, to look at the way you're living. You may also want to look at your stuff. And I think we've all become stuffed with stuff, you know? Do you really need another pair of jeans? Do you really need another bag? Like, how many bags do you have to feel happy? These are the kind of internal adjustments we're making. You know, Virgo is, I know we're leaving Virgo season, or we've left. I'm not quite sure. I think we might be in Libra season now. But I feel that the last solar eclipse really was a tough teacher, and it showed us how, and it's going to be individually for all of us, but it showed us how we were, and for me personally, I could see how I have been looking for connection, acceptance, or belonging in my day job, not my clients, not my spiritual work. I'm very, very clear and very neutral about that work. That work is just so natural. It's something that's instinctive for me. But I've worked with different organizations that are community based, and looking for belonging, looking for connection with people that aren't even connected to themselves, with organizations that are only interested in KPIs and ticking boxes and getting the funding in. They don't even care about the client, or they don't even care about the very people or community they claim to be reaching. Looking for the same value system, perhaps in family members or worn out friendships or lovers. You know, that's a big one for people today. Loneliness, going out on the town, picking up someone astray to have a one-night stand. That seems to be very common, especially in younger people. I think, I remember in the 2000s noticing that culture getting bigger and bigger, the 90s and the 2000s, and it was something that just, thankfully, my instincts protected me from that. I've never had an interest in it. To me, it just felt so off. But, you know, basically using people, or unconsciously looking for love in all the wrong places. This is a time where there's nowhere left to run and there's nowhere left to hide. And the message, the download I keep getting is that there's a part of this process, this journey of our lives, that we prevented from engaging. We didn't engage with it up until now. And now we have to engage with it. What you've been putting off, what you've been procrastinating, what you've been afraid to actually step outside your front door and do. It's time. That action, that activity, from a loving place of trust. It's being called now. It's being set up for you. The windows and doors are opening to invite you to move through them. I think everybody reaches a point in their life where there's something that maybe they just stuck their head in the sand about for years, you know. Maybe it was that sexual abuse that happened when you were a child. Maybe it was some memory you've scrubbed away where your father let you down, or your mother disappointed you, or someone broke your heart. And you filled in the part of that process with distractions. You cannot distract yourself right now. This is the season of facing clearly, honestly, what is happening. The door, you made a choice recently, and that timeline is the door has shut, it's closed. That trajectory is no longer valid. It's not valid anymore, my friend. You might be standing on this new dirt road, scratching your head, going, well, what now? What's next? Where does humanity even go from here? Where do I go from here? You don't need to know that. You can't know that. You can't know that. All you can know right now is you're no longer investing in fearful dialogues or narratives, because that consumption, that use of your consciousness as currency has cost you far too much. Like, it's left you spiritually bankrupt. Can't do it anymore. You've got to open your eyes out of the sleep, out of amnesia, and be conscious, be present about where you are giving your attention. You might be at a point where you're jobless, you've no money, you're homeless, you're starving. Like, I'm not being facetious here. These are very, very potent times that we're in. There are people I'm speaking to at this precipice right now. And if we were to look at it through the eyes of fear, we could really freak out and panic. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. You actually have a choice how you handle this. And you can manage this. You can. I'm at a similar point, and I'm choosing to love myself regardless. I'm choosing to see this moment in time as a portal that I'm creating that leads to joy, passion, creation. That's sovereignty. That's deciding that you are the God force. You are a child of the light. You're a child of God. And no one can take that away from you. I'm just here to remind you, I'm the mirror. I am reflecting your power back to you. Didn't you notice that when you were younger, you didn't think about all these things? And life had a way of just carrying you, of bringing you. It unfolded under your feet as you walked. So as you jumped from rock to rock over the water, over the body of water, a rock appeared to catch your feet. Well, that's the kind of innocence we're getting back to. That's where I'm at now. I have nothing left to lose. I have nothing left to lose. Either do you. Spirit, soul, heart, consciousness, that's all that matters right now. The light in me is reflecting the power and light in you. God bless you.